So I just wanted to do my, hello everybody, I just wanted to do my regular introduction and to say that positives about the Zoom party are that we haven't had to worry about the weather.
Oh, she wants to see you put your arms down.
Ken and Brenda, would you hello, do you want to say hello to everybody?
Yes, if they're all about.
Yes, they're here.
Yeah, hello everybody. Sorry we haven't seen you for ages, but things have been happening here. It's getting a lot better, and like everybody else, we're all fed up with the lockdown. So hope to see you all in the new year, all fit and well.
Hope so.
And wish you all a happy Christmas.
You too. If you want to put yourself on mute, maybe when the speakers are speaking,
yes, we'll do that. Yes,
easier, so we're not getting the background noise.
Yeah.
Anyway, we know we didn't have to worry about the weather, the music, or the lights, etc. for this party. But the negatives, apart from the obvious, was we were worrying about the technology. But so far, so good. The Christmas party is always an incredibly important time for us to get together. And even though we're doing it virtually, I think it's kind of working. And I just want to thank in advance Emma, Stephen, Calvin, Tom, and Julian, who are speaking and drawing the raffle this evening. But we can't deny that this year's been a challenge, and we've really missed you all dropping by, particularly missed our volunteers, but your support has really helped us bolster our income and our spirits. And here are some highlights. I don't like lists, but I think it's just easier tonight. Because so many people love the London Bridgeathon local walk, we'll be running this as a hybrid, because then we're making it even more inclusive, and that was a little win this year. The two fundraising events organised by our haematology nursing staff were fantastic. Thank you all so much, and looking forward to something happening in the spring. Individual supporters who ran the virtual marathon and did a million different things for us, also amazing. Thank you so much. Talking about the snack trolley, we've got a new sponsor for the snack trolley, which is really nice. This lady whose husband was treated about 25 years ago, which was absolutely fantastic. And we know that the snack trolley plays a really important role on the wards, particularly through COVID. And also our Christmas campaign, the raffles raised nearly 10,000. We've almost sold out of our cards, and we have so much fun with it because we get to engage with everybody, which is incredible. But in the middle of this global pandemic, amazingly, somehow, quite a few new HCC projects have come together this year, which we'll share. So expansion of our inpatient clinical practice facilitators team. So they're the hub for education and training for the haematology nursing teams. And this year, the team of 4 has taught nurses to deliver CAR T-cell therapy and create readiness for the move to the new hospital, funded by the GT fan club. So yay, Melly and the GT fan club. Simon, did you want to mention these other two?
Yes, absolutely. So another couple of projects that have come together, actually just coming together now as we speak. One is some new partitions within chemotherapy daycare to help increase the capacity and help the staff there. Tom's going to tell us a little bit more about that, I think, when he speaks in a minute. The other one is the artwork for the atrium of the new hospital, and we've had artist Dryden Goodwin, who's a fantastic artist, who got really embedded within the haematology unit, met lots of our staff and patients and volunteers, and is just completing artwork for that. We were there over the last couple of days to see the first elements be installed, and it's very exciting and very wonderful. We're looking forward to that being finished.
It's time for the speeches and the raffle draw. I'll hand you over to our patron, Emma Morris, to chair the evening, and special thanks to her co-patron, Julian Rhind-Tutt, for standing by or riding by for the raffle draw. So we hope you enjoy the party. Oh, special guest.
Come and join us.
Our raffle draw celebrity, Mimi from the 4th floor.
Good luck, everyone. Hello. Whoever bought the ticket, good luck. So we'll do the speeches first, and then we'll do the
So, hello everybody. I have to say, I'm just getting up the running order so I don't do it incorrectly. I've got so much technology here. Well, the prospect of a riding or a whatever, what was it? Julian Rhind-Tutt? That was a bit risque for an HCC Christmas party?
He's still driving.
Yeah.
Still in the car.
He's in a car, Emma.
Oh, okay.
I'm a mobile raffle drawer, Emma, but if you can stall for about another 11 minutes, I should be out of the car.
That's absolutely fine. If you need anyone to over talk, I'm your girl. Okay, so look, everybody, it's absolutely brilliant to see you all, and some of you actually I haven't seen for a while, including Lara, for example. And the last time I saw Melly was actually on a Zoom drink, yes, in our gardens in the first lockdown, I think. And some of you I've seen in and around the hospital more recently. And I think, well, gosh, nobody wants to hear about COVID, but I was just looking at some photos of last year's Christmas party, and blimey, what a difference a year makes. I mean, it is quite truly remarkable. And also it just, it has been a real challenge for everybody. And whether you're someone who works in the NHS, whether you're someone who's a patient, whether you're the partner or a relative of a patient, whether you're just a human being at the moment trying to keep working, whether you're studying, I think it's been a remarkable time which has, I think, I don't want to be too profound this early in the evening, but I think a lot of people who have gone through life without ever really facing any adversity have suddenly had their worlds turned upside down. And they've had their worlds turned upside down in a way that many of you are familiar with and have struggled with for, as a result of your health problems. Whether it's a diagnosis of leukemia or lymphoma, or whether it's ongoing dealing with a red cell disorder, whether it's living, having lost someone to a disease, or whether it's living alongside someone who's having a really difficult time. And I think it's been really interesting to see that how people have responded to that. And people have either been remarkable in their resilience and their sort of dynamic response, their can-do attitude, their flexibility. And some people have really struggled. And I think what it's highlighted is, as human beings, how individual we all are and how we all respond in different ways to stress, and how actually we really need each other to get along through it. And I think it kind of, I don't know what it is about HCC and the community that actually, you know, we're a funny bunch of people to be on a Zoom call together, right? Yes, but actually there's a real sense of something very tangible and a genuine sense of love and support, and a desire to do something to actually improve things for not just ourselves, but everyone that we work with and people that we live with. And I think that's kind of what HCC does in a really special way, and in a very kind of physical and tangible way. And I think it's remarkable what has been achieved this year, considering how difficult it's been for everyone. While we were all introducing ourselves, we were discussing the fact that Steve, the wonderful spaceman Steve Rowley, who thinks his backdrop makes him look like he's, what did you say earlier, God? And I said I thought it made him look like he was lost in space. You know, you could interpret it either way. But Steve, yesterday, was it yesterday or the day? Yesterday or the day before? Anyway, very recently was awarded a special commendation silver award from the country's chief nursing officer for his contribution to nursing. I mean, this is not a trivial thing. This is a remarkable achievement. And I think I just want to say how proud we are of you, and how you, not just what you do for the charity, but actually how you have set the atmosphere and the commitment of nursing staff in the whole of the unit. And when the first, unfortunately it keeps being delayed a bit, but when we move into the new building in the first week of January on the corner of Grafton Way, that will be the biggest haematology hospital in Europe, and it is going to be staffed by some of the best people in the world, not just in Europe. And in fact, that culture has been built up over 20 years by Steve. And we are so lucky. And every time we get together and I say something at HCC, I talk about how remarkable that the nursing staff are. And I know those of you who are patients and relatives will absolutely agree with that. And it's from every tiny small moment of kindness through to absolute precision, accuracy in identifying when there's something wrong with you that needs an immediate intervention. They've covered all those bases. And on top of that, you know, they're real human beings. They're funny, they're kind, they care. And actually one of the things that we've seen this year is how remarkably unselfish everybody has been through redeploying, working on intensive care in the first wave, doing endless extra hours and shifts and putting their lives at risk. And I think it wouldn't be right to let this evening pass without us mentioning Jenny, who many of us knew and loved, who died of COVID. She was one of our amazing clinical nurse specialists. And it just reminds us all of the genuine commitment, people who care for you and for our other patients, you know, what that really means to them. So I just want to applaud everyone on their amazing resilience this year. I mean, it's been fantastic. And that the spirit of this department has not been dented one jot. And actually, I'm really, really proud to be part of this charity. And I think it continues to go from strength to strength. And I just want to say, I really look forward to us being in our new building. I've had a slightly sneak preview. Kirsty sent me a photo of this rather large banner hanging down in the atrium. Anyway, when you all go in the new building and have a look, you'll see that. My husband then sent me a picture of a big banner of someone like Stalin or Lenin, some sort of Soviet propaganda thing, which anyway, that will mean something to you all when you go in there. But I want to finish off by saying extraordinarily difficult but extraordinarily important year. And I think a year when us as staff have actually really begun to understand what life is like when you're immunocompromised, when you're immunosuppressed, when you're isolated, when you're a bit scared, when you're worried about getting infection. And we've learned an awful lot about the things that our patients go through all the time. And I hope that we'll all be stronger and better for it. So I am now going to shut up. I bought Julian a bit of time, I think, and I'm going to hand over, I'm following your instructions, Sarah, to Tom Marler-Hausen, who is the matron. He's a very modern matron of the Cancer Centre.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to try and follow that on to talk about partitions, which isn't very exciting, but I'll do my best. So today we had the delivery of basically some partitions with some amazing pictures on it, some really cool graphics which kind of welcome our patients, and also some pictures that were taken by Mark when he was up on T16 a few years ago on New Year's Eve. And it's really to try and one, create more patient spaces so we can look after more people. And with Ambicare growing at the rate that it's growing, we need more treatment spaces. It's very simple. It also helps us a little bit because with COVID, we need to try and distance our patients and to try and have a bit of separation between them. And this also allows that, although I didn't, plan for that when we thought of this idea, which was not even last summer, I think almost before then. This has been a long time in fruition. But we got them delivered today. So we've got these extra treatment spaces available that we're going to be able to treat patients. And I think they look good. We've got to wait for a couple more deliveries just to try and finish it off. And we're getting the whole second floor reupholstered with all of the chairs that are now 8 years old and looking a little bit rough around the edges. They're all going to be reupholstered. So I think the new year is going to look fairly shiny and new, which is excellent. And, I have to really kind of credit Simon for helping us get the design right. It has been quite a challenge over the last year to get this sort of sorted out. But I think we've achieved something today, which is brilliant. And I can't sort of thank Simon enough, and Sarah for kind of supporting the project, because I do tend to have these madcap ideas that suddenly, I kind of get on it and try to get it done. It does take a year and a half, but we get there in the end. So brilliant stuff, and thank you. I think also just to say, I don't want to boost Steve's ego, but it is a real pleasure to work with Steve. And well done, massively well done. You deserve every credit you get. And I look forward to one day having a beer in a pub with you again, and many of you on this call as well, because that's probably the one thing we all miss more than anything else.
We've never had it. Tom, we've never had a beer out. You're never allowed out.
Yeah, well, I might be allowed out next year. I'll get some special permission. I think the last thing, it sort of follows on a bit what Emma said, is about kind of, we were suddenly put in the shoes of our patients this year. And for the first time, I think I felt a bit vulnerable, not least, of course, when Jenny died. And we didn't really know what the risks were with COVID. And that sense of vulnerability, we do our best as nurses to empathise, but then suddenly you're almost put in your shoes. And how some of our patients get through day in, day out with the anxiety and the stress that having an illness causes is amazing. You're certainly strong people, and I commend you, and I look up to you for that. And the last year, I think, has probably taught us an awful lot about ourselves. I hope that this year I'll be have become a better person. I think I have. I've certainly learned a lot, not just, of course, with COVID. I think Black Lives Matter has also taught us an awful lot about ourselves and about how we should behave. And so, I look at this year with immense sadness, I think, because it's been a very sad year, but also a bit of hope, because I think we've learned more than we could ever have managed to learn. And I look forward to the new year, not least for having, not having to wear a face mask, but also for all the projects that I know that are going to come through in the new year with all the new ideas that we have, because we've got a great team and there's always something to do. So, overall, it's a huge happy Christmas to everybody. It's a thank you to all the people that go out there and do all this volunteering and do all these cycle rides. And I promise I should be allowed out in the new year and I'll get to do some of these things myself. So, yeah, thank you very much. And I'm just trying to remember, I don't know who I'm handing over to.
It's all right. I think you're going to hand over to Calvin.
Calvin, I'll hand over to Calvin. So thank you and happy Christmas.
And I just want to butt in and say one thing about Calvin. I first met Calvin in about December 1999. So that's quite a long time ago, Calvin.
Yep.
Yeah, in PPW2, when I was a green behind the ears little registrar.
Prescription.
Yeah, exactly. And so I've known Calvin a very, very long time, and you are a very, very remarkable man, and I am very honoured to know you. And I think the work that you do for HCC is extraordinary. And this year, the work that you've done through NHSBT to try and increase the number of BAME blood donors has been remarkable. And we're really, really proud to know you and to have you as part of our lives, basically. So I'm going to hand over to you now. I've embarrassed you in public.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I don't say about that. I'd like to start by saying congratulations to Steve and to both Emmas, and being part of HCC and NHSBT. If you'd gone back, say, 20, 30 years ago, you could never have seen this. And I tell people it's an absolute honor and privilege to tell people that I represent HCC and that I'm a board member and that I work for NHSBT. Someone said to me 20 years ago, you'd be working for the NHS, I'd have laughed my socks off. So I take a lot out, so I thought it's about time I give something back. And this year has been trying for everybody in lots of different ways. And like some of you have said, people have got a little taste of what it is to walk in our shoes. And those of you who are patients understand that. And people often ask me, how are you coping with lockdown? And I have to think, it's not stressful. It's no different. It's just what we do. I have a lot of tech. So it's been difficult. And as you can see, I've focused a lot of my efforts this year on trying to get more BAME and Black donors, organ and blood donors. At the start of this year, I think the numbers for blood donors was just under 1.5% of the population, and it was half that for organ donors, which, you know, is not good. And in the last few months, myself and other people doing what we've done, we raised it by 10% increase. And I have to be honest, I've done a small bit towards that, but it's an amazing feeling to know that you're helping people, and people say, you know, that, and you're helping people to live better lives, longer lives, and just the fact that you're giving back. Because for so many years as patients, you take, and then you often say to yourself, how can you thank the NHS? How can you give back to people that have helped you? How can you say thank you to all those people that have helped keep you where you are and to allow you to have had a life? And this is my way of giving back by being part of an amazing charity that in times that we're going through, it's a place that people can look to for comfort and a fixed point of reference where they think, yeah, there is something still good in the world. And they see all the posts and the hard work that people do by doing charity runs, cycle runs, all sorts of things to raise money. And it's an inspiration. And in a year where lots of charities are struggling and their visibility has decreased, it's amazing to see that so many people are working so hard to keep HCC visible and to keep HCC on the tongues of people. And I say to people, you know, if you go to UCH, HCC is the HCC charity, is a hospital charity. I don't care whatever else they've got. It's HCC, and that's it. Period. And I've told Sarah that many a times, that I don't consider any other charity relevant when it comes to UCH. And
I love you. You're so politically incorrect.
Yeah, you know.
You need to pause the recording.
And with what we're doing at NHS Blood and Transplant, trying to raise awareness and get people to think about others, and to say to people, to think about it before you need it, because the NHS is a wonderful and amazing organization. You think that if you have an accident or something happens to you, you can just turn up, and at the point of need, it's there for you. No one's asking you to say, oh, could you just wait a minute, or how much have you got before we look after you? It's there for you, free. There's not many things you can say that about in this world, especially in a world where, you know, I'm being politically incorrect again, where money and power and how much likes you get on social media is everything. The fact that we have a system where people give and keep giving without thought for themselves, it's just to help others. And I'm hoping that by doing what we do at NHS Blood and Transplant, I'm adding something to that and making people think about others before just not saying, you know, I say people, you know, if you would take blood and you would receive an organ, why wouldn't you give? If someone you loved and cared about needed, would you be the first in line? Of course you would. So do that for someone else. Each unit of blood you give saves 3 lives. It costs you nothing to give an organ. You know, the fact that people are arguing or debating whether or not the law should have changed when you have a driver's license, it's incredible. You know, I had a discussion with someone recently who said he was complaining about the fact that he had to opt out of the system. And I said, well, you know, I don't mean to be rude, but you know, when you die, you're not going to take it with you. And he said, yeah, but I want to be cremated with everything. And I was like, wow, you're not even going to be buried. You're going to be cremated. You'd rather someone burn it than give it to someone and save people's lives. And I just don't understand that mentality in this world. I really don't. And I find that hard to stomach. So along with some of you wonderful people, I'm going to do as much as I can to make this world a better place. And again, I'm saying to you, I am so proud to be a part of this. Beyond belief, proud. You have no idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Calvin, very, very much. Thank you. I'm going to hand over to the remarkable and sometimes a little bit annoying Stephen Rowley. We love you, really. But we won't, I don't think we'll be nicer to you now you've got your fancy award, and you wouldn't like it.
No, it'd make me uncomfortable, Emma. Thank you, everyone, for your very kind words. I do appreciate it. Thank you to Julian. Always good to see our patron Julian with us this time of year. I don't buy that back of cab celebrity look for a minute. You were just sitting in the front lawn, weren't you? Front garden in your car. Thank you everyone for attending. I know this is a little bit of a strange way to have a party. I'm going to just very quickly talk about 3 things and have 3 toasts with you. So this works best if you have 3 drinks lined up in front of you for the next 5 minutes. I certainly obviously didn't envisage doing this by Zoom this time last year. Kind of 1984 style. It seems all very odd, doesn't it? Talking in little boxes to each other, you know, but here we are. Some would say it makes no difference to me how I deliver a talk, because I can deliver a few words to the most raucous of parties and make it feel like a Zoom board meeting. So this is kind of staple diet for me. This time last year, we talked about the challenge of moving hospitals and had no idea that our worlds were indeed going to be turned right upside down. And I think a few words about patients first. You know, as if having a haematology disorder wasn't hard enough, to have one in the middle of a global pandemic is just, you know, very bad timing and very unfortunate. Our patients have had their treatments delayed, sometimes not provided altogether for a few patients, which is all very difficult. And they've had to go through this with all the normal risks and with extra risks layered on top. And then for good measure, on top of those kind of fundamental extra risks, they've gone through the treatment over many weeks and months in this last year without the support or the normal level of support they would have naturally had from their families and friends in being able to visit quite often daily. Most of our patients are accompanied by family members 24/7, and we've gone from that to an experience for patients which involves largely sitting in a single room on your own for sometimes weeks. And I think that should be acknowledged, not least because patients just haven't complained. They've got on with it. It's been quite extraordinary to see the resilience of patients through what is already a difficult thing. So my first toast has to be to acknowledge our incredible patients and their families, and raise a glass to them, to our patients and families. Secondly, just a quick word about our staff. We've kind of touched on it, so I'll try and give a little bit of insight into what the pandemic looked like for our teams. Their resilience was just extraordinary, and they were put through an experience over many months which many people would not be able to respond like that to. And their resilience, as I say, was really nothing else, like nothing else. Towards the end of the first peak, after quite a few months of working in very different ways, in often different settings, doing unusual things that we weren't used to, and that's nurses and doctors and all the allied health professionals. We had doctors, our consultants working, like in wards, running wards of COVID patients, and that is no mean feat. And we had nurses deployed all over the place. But just a little story about our nursing team. Towards the end of the peak, after many months, everyone was obviously pretty tired. And even though the hospital was starting to settle down and the beds were starting to empty a little bit in the right way, and the temperature was down, suddenly we got a call from our intensive care unit. And that was that whilst the hospital was settling down, the intensive care unit weren't. And they were pretty much full stretch, and their staff were really struggling. So we put out a call for volunteers to go and work in intensive care. And, I really wasn't expecting much from our staff, because we'd really asked an awful lot for quite a few months. And the response was just, phenomenal and sobering. It was like I'd put a request out of who wanted a 2-week holiday in Barbados. They were literally fighting over each other to be part of the delegation that we would send to intensive care. And off they went, and they were down there for many weeks. And as everyone else was starting to kind of wind down a little bit, this particular group of staff were up to their necks in it, wearing full PPE in the most intensive environments probably that any of the COVID experiences gave. So a big toast to our nurses and doctors. You are forever incredible. Just very quickly then, lastly, a few words about HCC. As chair, it has been a difficult year. We can't fundraise, so our funds aren't quite what they would normally be. But we've got no doubt we've got a lot to look forward to as things pick up over the next year. And at the same time, we're also moving into the Phase 4 hospital, now not called Phase 4, but called the Grafton Way building, which is a good, memorable name, isn't it? So the GWB building. And we're actually going to move into that on the 9th of January. I'm pretty sure that will happen. It's been delayed a few times. So we've got everything to look forward to with the charity, with this incredible presence in the ground floor, with a large picture of Emma and Mark and a few other of our heroes hanging from the ceiling to be forever in our faces. So we've got a lot to look forward to. Sarah and Simon have carried on regardless with the volunteers and worked in very different ways, and have still managed to raise money and raise awareness and kind of sell the brand, if you like, which is really important. And I think that has helped us communicate a little bit better to our patients and ourselves and each other in a way that wouldn't have otherwise been possible. during what was a very strange period. So thank you to all the HCC team. It's always nice to have you there, and may long that continue. So I think that's it from me. Last toast then to Sarah and her team, supporters and families, and all of us, and happy Christmas.
Fantastic. Thank you, Steve. And I just really obviously want to reiterate our enormous thanks to Sarah and Simon and team and all of you volunteers, because nothing's possible without you, and your commitment to it is remarkable. So I do believe the moment you've all been waiting for. Our very glamorous patron, I mean the other glamorous patron, the slightly less glamorous patron. Where I can't see you on my screen. There you are. You could have brushed your hair, Julian.
Good evening. I've stepped out of my celebrity limousine and you find me now relaxing at home with my copy of Haematology Life, one of my favourite reads when I get home. Can you hear me all right? It's a bit echoey in here. Yeah, lovely.
I can hear you fine. Absolutely fine, Julian, I think.
Good. I won't be long. Normally at this point, everyone slowly filters away and starts to chat amongst themselves. You can do that now, although I can see all the cameras going off, 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 off. So we're going to zoom through a very exciting raffle. I think it's probably best just to get on with that, isn't it? I could faff on. I'm so glad you told me what the building's called, though, because I've actually may have to make a little speech about that, and no one told me what it was called. I've been writing all these things about that wonderful building on the corner of Huntley Street and Grafton Way, but now we know. Brilliant title. I'm glad Stephen hasn't been affected by his award, although he does appear to be speaking to us from outer space, but looking down on everybody. Let's go. Raffle prizes 2020. Hold on to your hats, because the first prize is in fact £1,000 in cash. Yeah, can you believe that? And I think, is it Mimi who's gonna draw the number?
What currency?
We've got lots and lots of tickets here, so we're giving them a good
It's £1,000.
Do you know? Do they have
a
names
good
on them?
rummage around, a real good rummage around.
Oh no.
Pam Holloway.
That's it, Pam Holloway.
Pam Holloway.
Brilliant.
She wins every year.
Are we going to put them all back if they're not on this Zoom call? I think we should do that for the £1,000.
That's a much smaller pool of people.
Okay.
What's the next prize, Julian?
Are we done? Next prize? I hope we are going to put them back until we win something. I've got my eye on that Lego Porsche that's coming up. Second one, £150 Marks and Spencer voucher coming somebody's way. Thank you to their generous donations.
Here we go.
This is no ordinary voucher.
Louis Andrew.
Lois Andrews.
Excellent. Super. Third prize, as you emerge from lockdown into the blinking sunlight, a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses. Yeah, coming your way.
R. Wallace.
That's R. Wallace.
R. Wallace, okay, that's recorded. Brilliant. The one I was hoping for now, number 4, a Lego Porsche 911 racing car, exclusive edition for all.
I'd like to raise an objection because I actually didn't know that that was going to be in the raffle.
Did you not?
No, otherwise I would have been in the building there, would you?
What, the Lego Technic?
Wow.
Thanks, a good shake. That's a good Christmas prize.
Who's that going to?
Oh, James
James Kemp.
Kemp. Yeah.
That's lovely. James is one of the people at the Georgia Hutchins Fund, which is one of the funds that supports HCC.
Okay, well, I suppose I'll have to grudgingly allow him to have that then. Number 5, the Booby Prize. Hardly. It's a beautiful portrait drawn by our own artist, Simon Tolhurst.
I don't know the running order of those prizes. So when you said the Booby Prize.
Oh, no name.
All right, this one is just a phone number on this ticket.
Julian Rhind-Tutt.
It's a fifth.
Well, we just have a phone number on this
There's a phone
ticket.
number.
So we'll have to call the phone number.
Ah, okay.
Ah, there it is.
Wendy Ford.
Wendy Ford on the back of the ticket. So thank you, Wendy, and hope to meet you very, very soon.
Stephen has now turned into actually Mr. Blofeld from a James Bond movie, from his space capsule ruling the Earth while stroking his cat. You see, it has gone to his head.
Hang on.
Number 6, Argentum, La Potion Infinie, the infinite potion, day and night cream.
It's incredibly expensive.
I think they're quite posh, aren't they? I think
They are a bit, yeah.
Catherine Santilli.
Santilla.
Santilla?
Catherine
Brilliant.
Santilla.
She'll appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Number 7 is, I think this is good, isn't it? La Mer, which I believe is the sea, which is a very posh hand cream. It's actually called the hand treatment in inverted commas. Yeah.
And Steel.
That's hand steel.
Well, her hands will feel a lot better after this.
Is this the best gig you've ever done, Julian?
It's the best gig. I've got all my best jokes. Coming up next, we're nearly at the end, so keep your cameras on. There's lots more fun to be had. Number 8 is a Mountain Warehouse backpack for your stuff for work or your chemo, whatever you need to put in it.
You can travel anywhere.
Anywhere you want, and it's got an oozing 50-litre capacity, and it's green.
Amy Ward.
Who?
Amy Ward.
Amy Ward.
Amy Ward, excellent. Number 9, big on cosmetics this year. If you've been in the house with dry skin, Clinique. Clinique hydration system. Moisturizer.
Oh, Amy Ward again.
Oh.
Put it back.
Hard to imagine how you can make a raffle even more disappointing than before, but this format is really working, isn't it?
Really working. It's really
That's for
working.
me and Julian, who are interested in this moisturiser prize, I think.
You're going to love it.
The best moisturiser prize.
Mason.
I'm trying to spice it. I've got a couple of Pfizer vaccines here if you want to. I might spice them up in a minute. Bit of mRNA is available. I've got. Are we ready for number 10? Or?
Yeah, go for it.
Number 10 now.
Number 10.
It's a chunky silver ring.
It's a chunky silver ring, a woman's ring. Not a ring for a chunky woman, but a women's ring by Furler Chunky Silver. Who's that going to? I should have had them all with me so I could show them off. We're nearly there. 3 left. Here we go. Who's that going to?
It's going to NH Tachner.
With no information.
No knowledge on their gender.
We might have to do a bit of detective work to contact NH Tachner.
Well, they'll either be happy or they can make.
Don't use the test and trace service.
Excellent. An excellent idea. Right, we've got a sparkly evening bag, a Bessie sparkling evening bag.
Here it comes.
Okay, for all those evenings you're going to go out in.
Yep.
It might be quite good for awards ceremonies, so Julian and Stephen might be up for that one.
Yep. Pick that up and get out quick before we go back into tier 3, and you can go to the chip shop with that.
P-Golf.
Yes. That's P Goff.
Excellent.
On the sparkly bag.
Yeah. And our penultimate prize for tonight, a navy silk scarf.
Navy silk scarf.
It could be a bit like that. Could be look like that, but that's actually a.
Well, I can't be bothered to unwrap it, but it looks like
No.
that.
It looks very similar to this microfiber cloth. And finally, a Fabriano boutique notebook.
Hang on, we've got the winner. We've got the winner of the scarf first.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Dyson.
Vicky Dyson.
Vicky Dyson, excellent. And our last prize, a boutique notebook with accessories by Fabriano. Very lovely prize, generously donated. The tension.
Yep, Isabel Burt has won the Fabriano notebook and accessories.
That's it.
That's it. Fantastic, Mimi.
Brilliant.
Oh, thank you so much, Mimi and Julian.
Thank you very much. Excellent.
Brilliantly done.
Beautifully done, I think.
I think there's a career for you in that, Julian.
Raffle pulling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to give it my best shot. Yeah.
You've done well for many years.
Yeah, well, I've held this. It's the only job I've held down for longer than half a year. So
We always ask you back. We always ask you back.
It's very
You're fine.
lovely. You're the only people who do.
It's a charity.
It is. I'm very grateful. Yes, I'm taking.
The only thing you're missing, Julian, is an assistant to tell some decent jokes.
Exactly. A proper comedian. I knew there was one in that hospital somewhere.
Well, let me know who it is.
Yeah.
Great.
Good.
Before we just sum up, Emma, I think Calvin was just going to see if he could work his magic and play us something amazing from the fabulous Be Positive choir to sort of
That'd be great.
see us out.
Oh, brilliant.
Is that going to work, Calvin?
Yeah, if you give me control,
I'm
allows.
going to give you permissions.
Let
Just
Emma
one
just
second.
sum up.
You're going to dance as well, Calvin?
My age, forget it.
Hello, little Tom.
Oh.
Oh.
What's your name?
What have you got there?
Ooh.
Cute.
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe it's going to dance to the music.
You can. Do you want to say Happy Christmas to everybody? No.
No.
Oh well, tried. I tried.
Oh.
Can little Tom
Just
put
say-
his dad's glasses on, do an impression of his dad?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Hello.
That's not good. I have to say it's been really lovely seeing you all. I hope you're enjoying it. It's been really, really lovely looking at all your faces. And thank you for all your support over the year.
It's definitely the best Zoom call I've had in 6 months, I can assure you. And there has been many.
Oh, that's good. Hopefully it's going to get even better when Calvin starts dancing.
We're doing our choir rehearsals by Zoom.
Oh no,
That's hilarious.
decoration.
That's hilarious. All trying to sing with the delay. It's funny. So if someone gives me screen sharing.
So at the moment, is it not enabling you to do so, Calvin?
Who's
We're the admin here, so let me just have a look at the sharing options.
The host has disabled it.
No, that's not that one. It's this one.
Who's the host?
Me. Hang on. I'm just getting it all. Righty-ho. So that should do it now, Calvin. Try that.
Brilliant. Thank you.
It's so exciting.
My screen?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, well, you've spent all day working hard, Calvin.
Like a beaver. Just
It looks like my teenage boy's web history.
Make sure you've got the right hard drive connected.
I do have a fairly
Wow.
Right, okay.
Amazing.
I'm going to make this louder. You see that?
Yay! Amazing.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken hearts. But they get it down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching out to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. Yes, that's what we become. I won't let them break me down to dust. Oh, we are glorious. Look out, 'cause here I come. Marching out, marching out.
How's that?
Thank you so much, Calvin. That was amazing.
Fabulous.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Which is so uplifting. Very talented choir.
And we were so lucky to have you at last year's Christmas party singing for us live, Calvin. That was a real treat.
Can't wait to come back again.
Yeah,
Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Oh.
Hopefully next year.
Yeah.
Or we can get you into the new Grafton Way building.
Yeah. We could test the acoustics with you.
Near the banners.
Why does that sound like
might be
a
good?
But who's on the banner, by the way?
Mark.
Who's on the banner?
Who's on the banner? I'm on a banner.
Yes, Mark and his sister Ellen.
My sister's on a banner.
Together with Emma,
Emma.
Morris. And then we've got a second set of banners with Justin and Sabrina, who are patient, and his wife, and Diego, who everybody I think knows, Diego Prieto.
And they've only just been installed, so we haven't got a picture.
Yes, we'll be releasing a few photos, sneak previews in the next couple of days, I think. So watch out for our social media.
No, they've literally gone up today.
Yeah.
As of today,
Yeah,
so it's very,
completed.
very exciting.
Look.
Ah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, she looks like a cinema poster.
Oh, yes, you
Amazing.
behind me, Mark.
Am I behind you?
Yeah.
The inside of the building.
Yeah.
Is that the inside of the building?
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
quite snazzy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It took a very large crane to do that.
It looks like a posh hotel. It doesn't look like a hospital.
Shut up,
It's
Steve.
amazing.
It is like a posh hotel. That's
I don't know
UCLA.
how visible this one will be as
Same.
well, but I think it's difficult to see on the screens with the screens
Yeah.
being backlit. But we shall put photos up on our social media very soon. It looks stunning. We're so excited about it.
and I don't know whether some of you sent in pictures, some of you were photographed by Dryden, and there may be parts of your ears or your eyes or nose or mouth that may
Basically.
be integrated into one of the other pieces.
There's a couple of other elements of the commission still to go into the atrium, and that is the wall vinyl manifestation, which is lots of details of faces and hands, which are the parts of one another that we subconsciously refer to and look at when we're communicating. And there's also then the films of those drawings being made, which are going to be showing on loop on 2 big 65-inch screens in the atrium as well. So they'll be really attractive, and when all the work's together, it's going to form a very nice environment, welcoming and colourful and interesting for the patients.
And it looks amazing on the ground floor.
Mm.
So we'll get you in, Julian, at some point.
Oh yes, that would be really lovely. I'm very excited about that. Fantastic. Thank you.
We've been trying to get you into the cancer centre for about 3 years.
Yeah. I'm trying to avoid it. Yeah.
He's always stuck in the back of a cab.
Get out of that cab.
How does it compare size-wise in the atrium? How does it compare size-wise in terms of volume to the tower or Macmillan?
The atrium is very, I mean, the ceiling's very high, so it goes all the way up to the roof, basically. But the banners come down from a little bit below the top of the ceiling to a little bit above where you are when you're on the ground. But they're really beautiful colour bands coming down with the images at the bottom, and there's a double image of each person. So together with the movements of the banners, because it's a very light fabric, and the transparency of them, you've got the double image, and it gives a lot of movement and motion to the images. They're very dynamic.
So there's like a huge space you could.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, so that's why there's 3 elements to the commission, Calvin. So there's the screens, there's the wall vinyl manifestation, which is a very large display of details, and then the 6 banners in 2 groups of 3 coming down from the ceiling. It really is a commission that aims to not fill the space entirely, but to use the space, not just to have one level. Because you can see those banners as you go up through the different floors, and you look out from the windows of the rooms into the central atrium. You'll see that work in different ways.
Brilliant.
You'll love it.
Can't wait.
And the photo shoots were good over the summer from what, June, July, August.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very, very inclusive, fun process, and he's amazing. And hopefully we will be able to have an event. He was just saying that. We'd love to have an event with all of you, or as many of you as we can.
Yeah.
Oh, that comes to the end of our proceedings, sadly, unless we want to do any, I don't know, more questions and answers to Emma and Julian.
I actually want to know if Steve's going to take us all out to celebrate his award.
If only there wasn't a lockdown, Calvin.
I know. I'd like to say that during the course of the party tonight, I've drunk an entire bottle of wine.
Or an old soak.
A mini soak. Oh.
Oh, it's lovely to see you all.
Yeah.
Lovely to see everybody.
It's really, really
so
lovely.
Thank you, everybody, for joining the party tonight.
Have a happy Christmas, everybody.
And thank you again for all your support. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for providing your own food for the party, for your own refreshments. That's been quite handy. And your own drink.
HCC's drink bill for the Christmas party this year.
Well, on behalf of everybody, HCC and all our staff, we wish we all a happy Christmas, peaceful and
happy Christmas
celebrations,
Absolutely.
whatever you do, and stay well.
Thank you.
Oh.
Love it. Thanks.
Happy Christmas, everybody.
Oh.
Bye.
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 Take care.
Super.
Fantastic.
Simon, I'll give you a call.
Definitely, Terry. Let's catch up soon. I've been meaning to. I'm so sorry to have been out of touch. I'll see you
Yeah, I
soon.
look forward to it. I'll try this weekend.
All right,
Oh,
good.
Yeah. Okay.
Sunday would be good.
Nice to meet you.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Oh, bye, Rachel. Nice we didn't say hello to Michael, but it was nice that he was on too.
He's on call, so he had to go.
He came in and out.
That was really nice.
And actually, when you do see Mike, when you speak to Michael, please tell him I loved his background, because that was a photo of him fundraising at one of the
Yay.
Prudential Ride London, and I
Yeah.
meant to say that yes, wonderful. That he gets the prize for the best background. Never mind those outer space ones.
He's still watching on his phone, so he can hear it.
Well, we wish you a Merry Christmas, the Okarimia family, the lovely family that you are.
Lovely.
Take care.
See you soon.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I hope Chili got it.
Oh.
Bye.
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 Oh, Roberta's decorated her tree.
Yeah. And we're going to have to go through these a little bit slower,
Oh.
I think.
Have you saved them, Simon?
Sorry, shall I leave a meeting?
Have I saved?
The
Can you
chat?
save the messages? Can you?
Yeah.
Can I do that?
I've saved them.
Okay, good.
I'll send them over later.
Can I just say something?
Well, we're still recording at the
Okay.
moment. That's the other thing. Shall I stop recording? Mark, are you going to be able to edit this file?
Not from here. You have to.
No,
grab
I
where
know
it's
not from
saved.
here. I'm going to stop the recording now.